welcome to Cooking with Angela. Today we're cooking the holy grail of all meats, my favorite cut of meat, pork ribs. So the most important thing to get the best tasting ribs is to make sure that your piece of meat, that your ribs has the most meat on it, it's not too small and it's not too fatty. So this here, there's two types of cuts of ribs. This here is baby back ribs or USA ribs, and they're the smaller cut from the top of the rib cage. Another type of ribs are spare ribs, or the American style spare ribs, or the St. Louis cut, which is the larger ribs from the side of the rib cage instead of the top of the rib cage, which is these ones. There are several secrets to help you make the best tasting ribs, so the meat will just fall off the bone and they'll just melt in your mouth. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you cook it for a long time on a low temperature. The second secret is never boil the ribs, as this gets rid of all the beautiful flavor in the rib. The next thing is to make a rub and rub it all over the meat. So this will create a crust all along the top for once it's cooked. And then the last secret is if you're using a sauce, do it at the end, otherwise the sauce will burn. So the first thing we need to do is to apply the rub to the meat before we cook it. Now you can use any type of rubs. You can buy awesome rubs from your local butcher or from the supermarket. But one of my favorite rubs is from AmazingRibs.com, and it's called Memphis Dust. So I'll show you how to make it. So first of all, we need is 3/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of paprika, then on this plate I have 1/4 cup of salt, 1/4 cup of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of ginger powder, and 2 tablespoons of rosemary, which I've just chucked into the blender and blended it up so it's formed a nice powder. Then we chuck all these ingredients together. And we give that a mix. Just getting all the lumps out. Beautiful, you should smell it. It just smells divine. That's our Memphis Dust complete. Okay, now we've got 2 small baby back ribs out. So the first thing you need to do is remove the membrane from the back of the meat. And as you can see, our butcher has already done this for us. If it's on there, it's so easy. All you have to do is, it just looks like a thin piece of fat like that, and it's covered over the whole thing. And you just slide your finger underneath. You may need a bit of a knife to help rip it off, but it should come right off. And we'll just check our other one, and it's pretty much the same. It's all gone. Wonderful. So the next thing we have to do is we need to rub on some oil to help the dust penetrate into the meat. So what we do is we'll just pour a bit of oil on top. You don't need much. This will help the rub stick and give the ribs a better flavour, and it will help sink into the meat. Okay, so the oil's done. So what we're going to do is we're just going to scoop about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons per rib. We're going to put it in a separate bowl because I don't want to put my porky rib hands and contaminate that bowl. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll do one rib at a time, and we'll first do the bottom of the rib, and we'll put a tablespoon all over it, and we'll massage that in. And we'll massage that into every single crevice and hole that you can find. Penetrate the meat, bond with the meat. Look at that, that's just beautiful. Turn it over. We'll add a bit more. Look at that. Feel that, only if you could feel that. Got enough of the rub on there to cover it. So I can still see the meat. I'm not fully covering it, but I'm covering it. Does that make sense? I'm glad you guys understand what I'm talking about. So we'll do the other one as well. The underbelly of it first. And massage that flap. Look at that. All right, now that the rub's on, what we need to do is we need to let it rest for approximately 2 hours, or for better flavor, leave it overnight in the fridge. So we'll see you back in 2 hours. So it's been 2 hours now, and we've removed our ribs from the fridge, and we're now got them to room temperature. Our oven has been preheated to 145 degrees Celsius or 295 degrees Fahrenheit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap them up. So what I've got here is a nice big piece of alfoil per rib, and we've got a piece of baking paper. So we're going to place the rib in the middle of each one, and we're going to wrap it up. So what this is going to do is the baking paper is going to prevent the ribs from sticking to the alfoil, but the alfoil it's going to create a nice pocket of steam and steam the ribs so they're nice and tender and fall off and juicy. So we're going to wrap it up like this. And then the alfoil. We've got 2 pockets now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chuck it in our tray. Just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook that in the oven for 2.5 hours. Our oven tray is in the middle of the oven, and it's 145 degrees Celsius, don't forget. As a lover of as a lover of pork it's all right. As a lover of pork ribs, I've tried a lot of sauces. You're not putting that in there. As a lover of pork ribs, I've tried a lot of sauces. And this would have to be my favorite, 3 Threes barbecue rib sauce. It's available in all your local supermarkets. Or if you'd like to try your local butchers, or even try www.amazingribs.com, which has a large variety on there as well with reviews. So we'll take out our ribs. It's been 2.5 hours, and we're going to open them up, and we're going to baste it with our sauce. Let's come to my oven. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put one in each pan. Wow, look at that. Only if you could smell it. It is awesome. Let's open the other one. Wowee. Oh, you guys are going to be so jealous. So what we're going to do is we're going to baste our ribs on top, and then we're going to bake it in the oven for an extra 25 minutes. So this will form a nice crust on our ribs and caramelize, because there's quite a lot of sugar in the sauce. It's very sweet. And then we'll just brush this one. Awesome, only if you guys could smell this right now. Yeah, excited. Wonderful. So we'll throw this in the oven for 25 minutes. We'll take it out and we're going to put more on and then back in the oven again. Ooh, look at that. So it's been 25 minutes already in the oven, and as you can see, the sauce is caramelized. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put more sauce and cook it for another 5 minutes just to heat it up. You can put as much sauce as you want. I preferably like it nice and thick. So we're going to just spread that with a brush. 5 minutes, yum yum yum, and then we can eat it. It's been 5 minutes and we're ready. Let's go check it out.
Oh, yummy, 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 in my tummy.
Look at that, guys. That is awesome. Let me show you what it looks like. And I'm just using what type of knife? Not a sharp one, a crappy blunt one. Look, I'm not even really touching it. It's just fallen off. But before I do that, I'll just show you one method to tell whether the ribs are cooked. It's called the bend method. And you just pick it up, and pretty much if it snaps like that, it means it's ready. So what we'll do is I'll plate it up for you. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. So to serve these pork ribs, I've got some roasted vegetables. Beautiful, like that. Or perhaps you'd like to have it on some salad. Gorgeous. Isn't that just beautiful? Or how about some fries? Yummy. Let's give it a go. Oh, look at that. It just falls right off. Oh my God, oh, these are so good.
Well, I'm home.
Freddie, how was work?
Oh, it's been a hard day at the quarry. What's for dinner? It smells delicious.
Bedrock BBQ Ribs.
Oh, is this mine?
Yes.
Oh, yum. It's my favorite. Ooh.
They good?
These are better than Betty's ribs. These are good, Wilma.
Thanks, Freddie. Just wait till you try my dessert. Clam.
Dana, I've got your ball.